Hey kids, Grandpa here. Donald Trump. Grandpa's going to vote for Donald Trump. This is a response video to a video Casey Neistat put out and also Wranglerstar put out. And it's always a bad idea on a YouTube channel to talk about religion and politics. You're told those things early on. But I didn't start this channel for any other reason than to set a good example for my grandchildren. And so I attempt to do that in all things. So even though it's not politically a good idea to talk about politics, pardon the pun, I want you to understand my reasonings for this. After, what's it been now? A year, 2 years we've been talking about this election. The Clinton group, who are in control and have all the resources behind them, the worst thing they could find out about Donald Trump is he said something derogatory about a woman a decade ago. I mean, that's what they're coming up with. That, and he hasn't showed his taxes. Well, his taxes, he's currently under audit. So I can understand not showing his taxes while he's under audit. When the audit's complete and they have a complete file, then he can certainly file them. But he's a businessman, and I'd rather imagine he, like any other American, he's taking advantage of every opportunity he can to shelter his income. That's the way our system is designed. As to Donald, I think he is his own worst enemy. He shoots his mouth off in a lot of ways, and that's going to create some problems for us internationally. I do think he'll upset the status quo in Washington, and I do think that's a good thing. I think that's a very good thing. Maybe break up some of the good old boy networks that are in place there. But more importantly, voting for Donald for me is almost more of a vote not voting for Hillary. And my reasonings for that are manifold. One, Benghazi. Not been a lot of talk about Benghazi in this election. But she was our Secretary of State when the Benghazi incident happened. Her defense was that she wasn't aware of how bad the situation was on the ground. Lady, you were our Secretary of State. It was your job to know how bad the situation was on the ground. That's what the Secretary of State does. It makes those kind of decisions. It learns from all the various resources, FBI, CIA, drones, spy satellites, all the resources that she had at her fingertips. And she couldn't tell that things were getting severe, even though there was some 400 contacts, I understand, from the Benghazi compound to the White House saying, hey, we need more help here, we need to get out of here. Nothing happened during her watch. To me, that's the most critical issue that I have with her, is that she was asleep at the wheel as our Secretary of State, and I'm sure she'll be asleep at the wheel as our President. The other thing was the emails. Not that she failed to use the right server, which of course is a big issue to me. I think that showed tremendous disrespect for the safety and well-being of all the people that are in our secret services or what have you around the world. She put a lot of people at risk. Turns out, supposedly, that none of those released emails or using the wrong server amounted to anything in particular, but it certainly could have. But where the real problem lies is that after getting a subpoena from the U.S. government for those emails, that's when the emails got deleted, after having received a subpoena. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, that's tampering with evidence. That's destruction of evidence. If you or I did that, we would immediately go to jail. No question about it. I wouldn't have even thought anybody could get away with that, and yet Hillary did. So to me, it was the fact that she got a subpoena and then hid the evidence. She was asleep at the wheel during the Benghazi incident. And, you know, Donald makes a big deal about her poor judgment. Donald may have said some things derogatory towards women, but he's not a rapist, and he didn't get a BJ from Monica in the White House. He may talk the talk, but he doesn't appear to be walking the walk. The worst thing they could find out was he said something derogatory a decade ago. Seriously. That's the worst thing they could find out about him. Now, Donald's his own worst enemy. He shoots his mouth off too many times. I disagree with his stance on immigration. I think the fact that we're a melting pot environment, and that's what makes America strong. What made us strong was our diversity. And I think that immigration has to be controlled, certainly vetted. I don't believe we should be bringing in Muslims right now because they're on a mission to take down our way of life. And so not a good idea to be importing that when we can not do that. But I do think the immigration needs to be something that we should be looking at, not just putting up walls and gates to. Well, we need to control that and deal with that politically. So anyhow, those are my views. These are the reasons why I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. I do hope he upsets the status quo in Washington, D.C. I am optimistic that he will. I'm confident that he will pad his own nest and make lots more money than what he already has, just as the Clintons did when they were in office. I just see Hillary as being 4 more years of the same old administration that's not getting anybody anywhere. So anyhow, that's it. So if you like this kind of thing, please like and subscribe. But again, this is a response video to Casey Neistat and to Wranglerstar. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.